Welcome to the Marketing Strategy Show. I'm Cordelia Kate, and this is a live interactive show that I run every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Each week, I teach one clear marketing strategy that you can actually use in your business. Everything I share on this show comes with practical tools, downloadables, all inside our brand new space called the Strategy Lab. I'm giving you step-by-step guides, checklists, everything you need to implement every single strategy that I'm sharing here. And you can come and get inside for free with a free 7-day trial, and then come say hi, drop in the comments that you're here with me live. If you're on the replay, give me a hashtag replay, and I will see you in a second.
Good morning. It is the morning. Good morning. I'm a few minutes late this morning, but if you are tuning in, let me know. Drop your name, drop your comment in the comments with me, and let's make this a fun interactive session where we're hanging out with each other. And as usual, this is a episode that is going to be live with you guys right now and become a YouTube video a little bit later. So a couple of formalities. The first one is this. Hey, I'm Cordelia Kate, and today I'm going to show you the exact prompting workflow that I use inside Claude to write copy that actually sounds like me, and it actually converts. It sounds like me. It sounds like I wrote it. It sounds like the kind of thing I'd say, and it actually converts and gets me clients all at the same time. And I'm going to show you how to do that in a really simple way that's going to hopefully prevent you wanting to chuck your laptop out the window next time you're trying to get that sales promotion done. Because look, the thing is with AI is it's amazing. We can't put it back in the box. Why should we put it back in the box? But what we want to do is use it to elevate our brand, elevate our voice, elevate our humanness, instead of do what everybody seems to be doing by accident right now and use it to steamroll the personality out of their brand. We don't want to do that. So I'm going to show you how to do this the right way around that gets your AI sounding like you. But specifically, we're going to do this on a promotional piece of content, one that is designed to get sales calls, to get people booked in with you to discuss working with you. And if you've been using Claude and it keeps coming back dry, it keeps coming back bland, if you've been struggling to get it to really sound like you, to sound like the kind of thing that you would say, I mean, Claude is so much better at this than ChatGPT and Gemini, and definitely better than Llama, but it's still tricky to get it to sound like you, right? And that is the thing that I find a lot of people are struggling with. And not only sound like you, but sound like something that isn't generic, that anybody could produce. Because here's the thing, in this day and age, it's really tough. Everybody's able to create content easier than ever before, which means the competition right now is so high. It's never been this high. We can all produce so much stuff at the drop of a hat. And so right now is your moment to double down on the thing that makes you human rather than double down on the thing that's easy to do. And I know that's annoying because it's like, yeah, but if I've just been given this tool that makes everything magically easy, I just press buttons and it produces stuff and it's great. But you got to understand, my nan can do that now. And if my nan can do it, love you, Nan. She might be watching. She often watches this. I love you, Nan. My nan can do it. And she doesn't have her own business and she isn't like into marketing, then you better be scared, because if my nan can do it, anyone can do it, right? And so my point is that we want to be doubling down now on the stuff that only you can do. And guess what that is? This sounds so corny. That is being you, right? Because only you can do that, right? You can't be anyone else, and no one else can be you. So we need to double down on the thing that makes you human, and really use that to represent our business and our brand online. It's time to personify the business. It's always been time. It's even more time right now to personify the business and make it superhuman. So all of this that I am obviously very keenly passionate about, chewing your ears off about being human and being you. And I've just realized to start this show with the wrong microphone working. Well, he can hear me better now. That's the underbelly of everything I teach here on this channel. And all of the AI infrastructure is developed on how can we make this more you, more human, and shaped around the thing that is going to enable you to attract the kind of people into your world
that know you, love you, want to work with you because you're being you. Right, enough of the preamble. Let's get into it. So I don't know if you have experienced this. If you're using AI, you probably have. Most AI agents want to rush to get the job done. They go to step 4 before they've clarified step 1. And so what I'm going to teach you today is going to just basically be to get AI to just slow down a minute. Slow down and let's get the infrastructure right before we pad it out and then add the style to it. That's basically what I'm going to teach you today. But what we're going to do is we're going to use an actual promotion that I should be putting out soon. And we're going to create it live. We're going to do it together live here right now. I'm not going to fabricate some business and give you some, potentially good post. I'm going to create something that you will see it coming out on social soon. I am happy and willing to put out on socials myself. And we're going to create something that I'm actually going to use here together on this show. Also, just want to jump in and say, hey, to those of you on the live stream. Oh, wow. I can see LinkedIn comments. Oh, this is a new situation. Hey, Charlene. Great to see you here. If you are watching here with me, please drop a comment in because on LinkedIn, I've never been able to see comments before. I normally have to go to LinkedIn to see the comments because Restream don't show them to me. But who's watching? Drop a comment. Let me know. I'm going to come back and check the chat from time to time because I want to, if any of you've got questions on any of this, I want to get them answered. And this is the piece that gets edited out of what becomes the final video. So by the time you come back to watch this on replay, it's nice and it's been tightened up and it's nice and clean because shout out to Abdul, who is my video editor and has the impossible job of editing all of my rambling, which is not an easy job. So big shout out to Abdul. Big love to you, man. Okay, so what we're going to do then. I can see Julie. Oh, yes. Hey, Julie. Good to have you. Good to have you, my darling. Julie's preparing for her show, and her show is tomorrow. The Upgrade. You got to check that out. It's a cool show. Okay, so let's just share screen, and we're going to jump into Claude on incognito mode. I'm just going to peek back. Can I see that? Yeah, I can. It's so annoying because, on Zoom, when you screen share, you can see that you're screen sharing and what everyone can see. I can only see my screen. Oh, that's the point, actually. I can see that you guys can't see me. Let me just set this up properly. Oh, and also let me just say hello to this guy or girl. I can't see your name, but great to see you here. Dilly PK1144 in the house. Dilip from Dubai. Awesome. Great to have you with us, man. Right. Okay. So I'm jumping into Claude. We're on incognito mode with Claude. And if you don't know how to access that, by the way, it's the little ghosty man up here. Little ghosty man. And the reason why we're doing this is and look, I've used 75% of my weekly limit, but it's fine. We will not run out on this session. I've been rationing to get this out for you guys this week. You are welcome. I have been making sure we do not hit that limit. I don't normally hit that limit, but I've been building software this week. And also my husband's been building a website. You don't give a damn. Why am I talking about that? Right. Incognito mode. Let me just show you something. Do you know anything about me? Let's just check, because the reason why I'm in here is I want to have a bit of a blank slate without creating a new account. There we go. Doesn't know anything about me. So this is good because what I don't want to do is show you how to do something on Claude that's been trained and has loads of context about how I want it to write, what my voice is, and all the rest of it. So we've got a blank page there and we're not starting from scratch. That is good. Right. So this is what most people do when they come to put a prompt in for something in terms of creating a promo piece of copy. This is what most people do. And then nothing massively wrong with it, but they put something in like this, which is like, hey, Claude, write me a 5-day email sequence for my upcoming launch of my new program called Live Pod with You. It's a 6-week program where I install my live show system and help service-based business owners launch their own live show. Make it sound warm and conversational like me with my brand voice and include subject lines, preview text, hooks, body, copy, CTAs, and a PS line on each one. Email 1 should be the announcement. Email 2 should build curiosity. Email 3 should handle objections. Email 4 should be a case study. And email 5 should be the deadline push. What's wrong with this? We're trying to get it to do too much in one go. What it's likely to do when I press enter on this is it's probably going to push back a little bit. Maybe it's got access to my preferences on here, and I ask it to challenge me on everything. And so it's probably going to challenge me rather than make stuff up. Now, if yours doesn't do this, if yours just is a bit of a sycophant and it goes, great, yes, we will create you a 5-day email sequence and just gets to it. What's likely to happen is it's gonna just suddenly start generating a document. Let me know in the comments if you've had Claude do this. You ask it to do something, and before you've even clarified what the substance of it should be, it's generating a document. And that's really annoying because it takes ages for it to generate a document, because it has to create it in HTML code first and then convert it and then display it. And then like 5 minutes later, you're like, okay, that's great. We've got a really pretty, polished Claude document. But actually, that's not quite what I wanted. And now any surgical edits of that document are timely, because it's not only editing the words, but it's editing the document and the code behind the document and all the rest of it, which is really annoying. I don't know why it does that. So we want to get it to break everything down into stages. I'm not going to go through and show you how shit the output is of this compared to what it would be if we did it properly, because, well, quite frankly, we don't have time. And I've just already done that for you in a previous life with poor prompting. And I'm hoping that maybe you're experiencing that yourself, not because I want you to have a shit time with AI, but because I want you to relate to this in the sense that you're like, yeah, I know. I'm always asking it to do stuff, and the output I'm getting is like mediocre at best. Well, here's the thing. If you're asking it to create the structure, pad the structure out, add your voice and branding, and also put it in a document all in one go, and even if you're not asking it to do that, but it assumes that's what you want, and then that's what it does, what's going to happen as a result is you're going to get a mediocre output, because there isn't a framework underneath for it to apply what it's building to. It's building the framework whilst it's doing the building, and it just results in something that isn't as good as it could be. So we're going to break this down into a few stages, and these stages that we're going to break them down into is as simple as it's as simple as, sorry, there's some stages within stages. So I just want to make sure I'm giving you the right information. The stages we're going to break it down into is structure, structure, substance, and then style. And then packaging can be later. And what I mean by packaging, it's like a word that's being thrown around in the AI world a lot now. Like, people are saying packaging more than they've ever said it before. It means the end result. Is it in a document? Is it in a code box? Has it been emailed to someone? Like, what is that packaging? So structure, substance, style, and then packaging. Now, when I say structure, we want to think about, instead of don't get it to write anything until it has a structure, until it has a framework to apply the writing to. Because otherwise, what it's going to do is going to write without a framework, and then you're not going to get anything that's that great. Now, we have traditional marketing frameworks, but the one that I come back to time and time again is really simple, and it's thinking about, and this is where you just have to do a bit of thinking before you come to AI, and you can do this brainstorming with AI. Let's open up a new incognito chat and start this fresh. And this is how I would do it. Like, I want you to help me. Oh, hang on. I've been told off by Abdul, my video editor. I need to write the prompt and then read it out, because it's a nightmare for him to edit that. So bear with. I'm going to read it. I'm going to read and write and then read again. I want you to help me define the structure of a 5-day email campaign we are going to write that aims to get people booking calls to discuss working with me on my new program, Live Pod with You.
Now, the reason why I haven't got all of these prompts copied and pasted ready to drop in is because I think building this out with you live rather than pre-preparing some stuff, I've had some feedback that is actually a really useful way for you to receive this and understand this. And then I'm not missing things and we're literally doing it together from scratch. So for the purpose of the recording, I want to help you. I want you to help me define the structure of a 5-day email campaign that we are going to write that aims to get people booking calls to discuss working with me on my new program, Live Pod with You. Do not jump ahead and write anything yet. We are going to do this in stages. Stage 1 is structure. Stage 2 is substance. Stage 3 is style. And then let's come back and tell it what we mean by these things. So do not jump ahead and write anything yet. We are going to do this in stages. Stage 1 is structure. Stage 2 is substance. Stage 3 is style. So what do we mean by structure? So structure is problem, bridge, solution, call to action. So this program, what problem does it solve? How do we bridge the problem to the program? I'll come back to the bridge in a second. Solution is the program that poses to solve this problem. Solution, the program that poses to solve this problem. And then the bridge is the link between it's like a smooth link that connects problem to solution. And Cordelia cannot type. So the bridge is a smooth link that connects problem to solution, just so that, you know, there's like a smooth transition. It's very subtle, that bridge, but I'll show you what the bridge looks like when we've got a piece of copy that we can work on. And the call to action, how someone applies. Stage 2 is substance, which is the copy minus the branding, the brand voice. The copy minus the brand voice. Ron Seal's style, so it does what it says on the tin, right? It's just clear. It's not been styled and made perfect. It's just clear. And then style is brand voice. Make it sound like me. Style is brand voice, make it sound like me. And then stage 4, let's say you were going to put this into a PDF, or you wanted it in a table. At stage 4, we can add in packaging. We'll figure. The stage 4 is packaging, and we'll figure this out later. So do not jump ahead and write anything yet. We're going to do this in stages. And then you can say to it, so the first thing, help me clarify what the pain solution. Oh, sorry. Hang on. Let me change that to problem, because marketing has this really annoying situation where we have like 10 terms for the same thing. Like, I don't know if you noticed this, like lead magnet, lead capture. You've got landing page, squeeze page. I mean, there's so many different terms for exactly the same thing. And I have a theory for why that is. And it's because good marketers know that you need to repackage things to make them sound new, interesting, and exciting. And so people do that. And when they do that,
really well, it becomes another household name for something that we already had. So there we go. Right. So help me clarify what the problem solution is. Now, if we were doing this without AI in the olden days, the days when we used pen and paper to figure these things out, like, God, can you remember those days, like 3 years ago? I'm joking. I've actually been using a language model since probably 2018. Jarvis, I used to use that. I've been using this kind of stuff for a long time now, and it was ChatGPT that made it all really viral. And then obviously the huge developmental processes that came after that, and where we are now, it's like AI revolution. But this stuff has been around for a while, and it's actually Caroline, my business partner, who put me onto these language models in the first instance. And I remember us looking at this thing like years ago, being like, oh my God, this is insane. But yeah, so by the time ChatGPT came out, it was like a different version of something that we'd already been using, but the development since then has been wild. So with this then, we're going to drop that in. What I would, in terms of how I would figure this out, in terms of clarify what the problem solution is, I find the best way to do this, the easiest way to do this, oh no, I've just copied that into what have I done there? We've already got that, haven't we? Yeah. I've copied the wrong thing. I want this. This is the easiest way to figure out the problem solution. You want to think about who is your ideal client. Now, when you think about who your ideal client is, think about them as one person. You're not thinking about them as a group of people or mums between the ages of 45 and 55. Man, the spectrum of different people and the different things that are keeping them up at night and all the things in between in that whole demographic is huge. We want to think about one person. The reason why I want to think about one person is so that mentally, psychologically, subconsciously, we know that we can't generalize and we can't put people into boxes. But for marketing, we want to put someone in a box. It helps us to get specific. So we want to think about one person so we can get really specific about what they're going through right now. That specificity is going to allow us to tap into emotion, and emotion is the thing that moves people in business to make decisions, and that we want to be using in marketing to enable people to make decisions through emotion rather than trying to show them how to make them with logic. We don't sell our program because it logically solves the problem. We sell our program because it emotionally solves the problem. And we've got to figure out what that emotion is. So the easiest way to do that is to have an ideal client profile. And that ideal client profile is one singular person, so that consciously you feel able to get really specific. Whereas if you were talking to a group of people, you would generalize. And then you would feel bad about generalizing. You're like, well, I can't stereotype these people. They're all different. But what that would do is it would make you talk in general terms about your audience's problem, because you're like, oh yeah, but I can't say that about everyone, because obviously this person here and that person there, they have slightly different circumstances and I can't put everyone in a box. But for this exercise, we need to put people in a box so that we can get specific. And it's just an exercise. That's all. Like there's nothing personal. There's nothing rude about doing that for this exercise. So who is your singular ideal client? Think about someone you worked with before that you loved rather than an old version of you. That's the best way to do it. If you're new to this, an old version of you is fine, or someone you'd love to work with, but you need to be able to know them really well. So who they are. And then just before and after, like where are they before working with you? And where are they after? And when I say after, I'm talking about the version of after. If they take all your advice, they implement everything you tell them to do, and they're like an agreeable person. Yeah, not someone that you had to force to water, that doesn't do anything, then sits and cries because they didn't do anything and then they didn't get the results that they wanted. I mean, not that person. You can't help that person. That person's just unhelpable. I want about your textbook client that does the thing. So where are they before this? And then where are they after this? And so, like, when you've clarified that, then you have that as the problem and the solution, right? So the problem is that this is where they're at and it's how it's showing up. So for instance, live pod with you, I teach people how to implement my live show system into their business. So the problem is they want a personal brand and a growing audience, but they are busy with clients doing the doing and don't have time to make loads of video content that they know they need. As an example, yeah? So they want a personal brand and a growing audience, but they are busy with clients doing the doing and don't have time to make loads of video content that they know they need in order to grow their personal brand. Oh, ruined my numbers now. Where are they after this? They have a system for running a live show that grows audience and personal brand, whereby they just have to pick a topic and turn up once a week, and everything else is done for them. Kind of. There's a bit of DIY with the program, and everything else is done for them. And well, let's, instead of, because that makes it sound a little bit too amazing, let's call it turn up once a week, and the system creates all the copy and makes management of running a live show easier than ever. Right, let's stick with that. So they have a system for running a live show that grows audience and personal brand, whereby they just have to pick a topic and turn up once a week, and the system creates all the copy and makes management of running a live show easier than ever to keep up with. Okay, so who's the ideal client? Business owners who run or who want an online presence and want to build a personal brand. Actually, I'm going to go one foot closer than that, like business owners, experts. Let's just call them experts. Experts. Or business owners in the experts industry. Is it experts in industry? In the experts sector. There we go. It's like the information industry. So who's the ideal client? Where are they before? Where are they after? By the way, your program is the gap between before and after, obviously. It's like, where are they before? Where are they after? What's in the middle between those 2 points is my program. I get them there with the program, which contains the features. We don't need to include that. It's obvious. I'm just putting that there for you. So then what are the features? How do we get there? And this is where we now think about the vehicle. How do we get them there? A lot of people go, I run a 3-month coaching program where we have weekly calls and on those calls, we have coaching sessions that help you with X, Y, Z. The problem is they talk about the vehicle first. We want to talk about the place that we're going to. What's the destination? Like where we are now, where are we going to? And then what the vehicle is to get us there. So the features are, it's 6 weeks, 2 hourly calls, hour key? Oh, that's a bit confusing. 1 times 2 hour calls per week. They get a system. They get a research machine. Right, and then we'll call it that. So that'll do. Oh, and no, sorry, they also get a 90-minute one-to-one call to conceptualize their show. Okay, so that's the, like, let's call it, that is the features for how I deliver them from here to there. Yeah. So now we've got, just to go through this prompt, just to show you from bird's eye view, we're telling it what we want it to do. And the only thing we're missing here is role. Let's add that in at the top. It's really good to tell, bear with me, you are a copywriter on my team and you've been assigned a task to write a piece of write a promo campaign for our new group program. Live pod with you. Let's just put some quotes there so it knows. You're a copywriter on my team and you've been assigned a task to write a promo campaign for our new group program. I want you to help me define the structure of a 5-day email campaign. We are going to write the aims to get people booking in calls to discuss working with me on my new program, Live Pod with You. A bit repetitive now, but it doesn't matter. The only thing that just really clear, we've told it what we expect from it, what we want it to be, and we've told it what we want it to do. And we also have made it clear what our outcome is for that as well, which is important. Guardrail. This is called a guardrail, where you put a thing in to prevent it from doing something that you expect it might do, or you come back later and you add a guardrail in because it did something you didn't want it to do. That's what guardrail means. The guardrail here is do not jump ahead and write anything yet. We are going to do this in stages. Stage 1, structure. We've given it a structure to follow. Stage 2, substance. We've told it what we mean by that. Stage 3 is style, which is adding the voice, etc. And stage 4 is packaging. We'll figure this out later. So the first thing, help me clarify what the problem or solution is. So we've put that in and then we've asked it to clarify that. It's going to come back and forth with some information that it's missing and things that it needs. Whilst it's doing that, I'm going to just check in with you guys over here and just see how we're getting on. Okay, cool. Good morning, John. Good morning, guys. Let me know who's here. Drop a comment in. I can see we've got Morgan Borgan watching. Can you paste the prompt here? Morgan, the prompt is going to be inside the community called the Strategy Lab. I'm going to turn this into a full playbook for you, step by step, everything. I'm going to make you template prompts that you can use and everything. I do that. That's my workflow after every episode. And I make it so that you can grab that for free by jumping in and grabbing a free trial. Have I got it open here? There we go. That's going to be inside the Strategy Lab and you can jump in for free on a free trial. It's normally $4 a month. What that does, it gives you access to every single playbook I make off the back of every episode here. But you can jump in and by close of play today, the playbook, will be in that community for you, ready to grab. So everything will be in there. That's where I put essentially they're not show notes because they're more than that. I'm giving you a whole workflow and playbook off the back of every episode, and they are stored inside the Strategy Lab. So if you jump in there today, you've got, this is probably episode 23 or episode 24. We've done loads of really cool things, and all the playbooks are in the community. So jump in there, grab yourself some playbooks, and start learning how to play around with AI in a really cool way. Okay, cool. So going to jump back into the screen share. Let's see what Claude has come up with. No, that's not Claude. Here we are. Okay, good start. Before we lock in the structure, let me poke a few things because I think the problem solution needs sharpening. And by the way, it might be interesting at this point. Let me show you, if I come here, Claude, because if I close the incognito, I'm going to lose it. So let me just open up my settings here. I want to show you the instructions for Claude. I've got some things in here, and this is why it's challenging me so much. In incognito mode, it isn't ignoring this. The instructions are still working. And so I just want to come back and show you this because your Claude might not poke as many holes in what you're saying as mine does. And it's because I have this in here. So firstly, never use em dashes. Ugh, gross. Secondly, only answer if you're confident. If you're unsure about anything, tell me directly. Do not make something up. I'd rather verify it myself than get a wrong answer. Challenge me and tell me what's wrong with what I'm saying when there is something, or give me other ideas. Do not just tell me what's right or let me blindly move forward when there's a better way. Poke holes in my reasoning when it's helpful to do so, but don't challenge me for the sake of it. If you can't find anything to challenge me on, then don't create challenges or poke holes for the sake of it. Sometimes it does this still. And so like I was talking to the other day, I was like, are you just finding things to challenge me on? Like that aren't even an issue. And it was like, yeah, I think I'm doing that a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I can tell. Like, it's just stop. Like, so be prepared for Claude to get very argumentative with you. If you don't like that, then don't add that in. But if it's really good because it means that it's constantly looking for where I'm wrong about stuff, where I'm making mistakes. And that's what we need. ChatGPT, the sycophant, is not helpful because it just blows smoke up your ass, even if you're completely on the wrong train and it knows you're on the wrong train and it's just letting you just drift off into the distance. Like, you know, that's not helpful, actually. It's really not. So it's nice to be challenged a bit. So anyway, good start. Before we lock in the structure, let me poke a few things. Because it's saying poke a few things, that's why I know it's because it's taken it from my poke holes in my reasoning. But because I think the problem solution needs sharpening. It does, you're right, before we can write a campaign that actually converts. What's working? The after state is clear and tangible. Pick a topic, turn up once a week. System handles the rest is a strong promise. That's the hook. What needs work? The problem is too surface level right now. They're busy and don't have time to make video content. It's true, but the same problem. So now I can kind of get into like my thoughts a little bit more and go back and forth and really have like a good dig into this with Claude to get a good positioning. And, you know, I'm not going to, by the way, just to let you know, Opus 4.7 is wordy as hell. Like it is wordy. It writes essays to you. You could say to it, be more brief. That's very wordy. And it's just going to cut down on what it's saying because it really is very wordy. Okay, so things to sharpen before we move on. The problem is generic. Once a personal brand is vague and the CTA is unclear. Sure. So, it knows a little bit. Oh, it's not supposed to know about that. We're supposed to be in incognito mode. Did I mention anything about vision call? I don't think I did. Okay, fine. Okay, so am I in? Yeah, right. So why do they really want a personal brand? What's the campaign actually selling? Or is this? Okay, so I'm just going to pick an angle. And obviously, like with your product and with your business, there are so many angles into so many things. And you need to test them. You need to test different angles, different reasons, different emotional hooks into why someone wants your product. And there could be like 7 roads into your product being a solution. And there definitely are with having a live show. You know, somebody might really want a personal brand because they're genuinely scared of everything becoming so easy with AI. And they already know that having a personal brand is the best way to be human right now. But then somebody else might not know that. And they're like, oh no, I just need a way to build an audience. And I know video is the way, but I can't keep up with creating all of this video content. And then there's a completely different angle. There is the content treadmill angle where somebody's just on the content treadmill all the time, like trying to think of the next bit of content they need to put out on social media. And it's exhausting. And the content they're putting out isn't even doing anything. And so they need a system for creating content that not only is keep upable, but also converts, right? And so there are so many different angles and so many different ways we can go down. For the purpose of this, we've chosen the personal brand angle. So we're going to stick with that. But the content treadmill angle is also a really good one. And also converts. I've tested it. Proof of concept is there. So personal brand, why do they really want a personal brand? Because I'm going to get specific and speak about one person now. So I'm going to say, because I'm going to type and then read it out. Okay, I'm kind of losing my thread a little bit, but because my ideal client, let's call her Sophie, really wants to leave a legacy for her children. She wants her daughter, I've said children, so let's go daughters, to grow up knowing she can be, do, or have whatever they want, if they trust in themselves. God, I really messed up by changing that to a plural. If they trust in themselves and go for it. She is scared of where the future is going for her children, and so wants to carve out a path that shows them that they can create something for themselves. And finally, she wants them to be proud of her. That's really underneath what's driving her, right? So it's like when we get into stuff like that, and we were like, that's quite emotional. And a lot of people that want to leave a legacy is kind of that there is some kind of thread that is along those lines. And the really good thing about this is we're getting into the emotional reason behind it. If we can start to understand the emotional reason underneath why someone will make a decision, we can connect with them on such a better level, and we're going to get much better conversions. That's gold. That's the emotional spine of the whole campaign. Now, the problem isn't I need more content. It's I'm running out of time to build something my daughters will be proud of, and the way I'm currently doing it isn't working. That reframes everything. The campaign isn't about content systems or personal brands. It's about legacy, and the mechanism happens to be a live show. Before I move on, two quick things to confirm. Campaign CTA. It shouldn't know about my full program, but fine. Incognito foiled. It's fake incognito mode. Campaign CTA. So let's say we are going to promote the full program in the copy, and then CTA will be to apply and then have a live show call, which is free, to discuss whether this is the thing for you. We are going to promote the full program in the copy, and then the CTA will be to apply and then have a live show call, which is free, to discuss whether this is the thing for you. So it's got that. And then what the system produces each week. Whoops. Stop. Halt. What the system produces each week, need for the after picture to land. The system produces, oh God, okay, a lot. The system produces, number one, promo materials. for every episode. Oh no, before that. Topic research. So you know what your next data backed in brackets topic research, so you know what your next data backed title should be for your show. Then promo materials for every live episode. Then it's speaker notes to prep you for that episode. Copy for live stream caption. And then 5, we've got the repurposing system, which is turning it into a YouTube video, Reels, YouTube video, Reels. We're not doing podcast on this specific program. Comes after. Okay, right, there we go. We're going to promote the full program in the copy, and then the call to action will be to apply. And then you have a live show call, which is free, to discuss whether this is the thing for you. The system produces topic research, promo materials, speaker notes, copies for live stream caption, repurposing system. Locked in. Here's the structure for stage 1. Okay, so the problem. Sophie wants to build something her daughters will be proud of. She knows visibility and personal brand are the path, but she's stuck. Client work eats her week. The content she does post dies after a day, and build a legacy keeps slipping down the list. Time is the resource she can't get back, and right now she's spending it on work that doesn't compound. Bridge. The problem isn't effort. Sophie works hard. The problem is that one-off content is a leaky bucket. To build something lasting, she needs a system that turns one decision a week into a compounding asset, not another to-do. Solution: live pod with you. A 6-week program where Sophie gets a live show up and running with a system behind it that does the heavy lifting. She picks a topic, turns up once a week, and the system delivers data-backed topic research, promo materials for every episode, speaker notes to prep her, live stream caption copy, repurposing into YouTube and Reels. What she gets: 2-hour weekly group calls to build it together, a 90-minute one-to-one vision call to sign her show, and a full system she keeps. Call to action: apply for a free live show call to find out if live pod with you is right for you. One thing to flag before stage 2, the call to action is 2-step ask, apply then call. That's heavier than a single book a call link. So CTA can just become apply, which goes to a form. Just to simplify that, because after the form, it can load the calendar page, whatever. And then I think with this, so one thing that is missing, and this is why it's really good to do it in this way: structure first, then substance, and then style, rather than trying to get everything all in one go and then getting this output, and you're trying to make it sound like you, but you're trying to make it be structured in the right way all at the same time. And by the way, one of the problems that AI has is that once it's produced something, when you ask to edit it, what it's often doing is it's editing the substance, not the structure. So you can be back and forth and back and forth and back and forth for hours, but it's still not right because the structure's wrong, because it's editing the substance, but it's not editing the structure. And so what you need to then do is tell it to rip it up and start with another blank page and start again. And that's because there's a structure issue. And so if you get the structure right, it's so much easier to get the substance and then the style right afterwards. So what I would do at this point is, I've already seen we've got something missing that's actually really current and would do really well right now. Something to add in. Okay, so something to add into the problem is that everyone's talking about personal brand right now being the only way to really future-proof yourself. Let's just add in as an entrepreneur from a saturated marketplace because of AI. And this is really true. I mean, we're getting to a point where because of AI, because it's so easy to create content, what we really need to double down on is the human stuff. And that really is personal brand rather than just brand, because it's so easy to create a brand and start creating a faceless company. Because of that, loads of people are doing it and loads of faceless stuff is coming out. There's loads of faceless TikTok accounts, faceless YouTube accounts, faceless marketing, people generating a revenue from traffic to those sources. But the problem is that's going to become more and more and more and more saturated, which means that the competition is higher and higher and higher because it's easier and easier to do. And the thing that we are going to gravitate towards is the stuff that's harder to replicate. And that is the stuff that's really human and really real. And realness is where it's at right now and where it's going to be at more and more. So now is the time really to be focusing on where can I be as real as possible so that I'm standing out in this AI saturated future that is coming at us as fast as a train. I should have voice recorded that because that was a good explanation. Hopefully, it'll pick that up anyway, because it just kind of understands. Updated structure. She knows this. She's known it for a while, but client work eats her week. The content does. Where's the? Oh yeah, here we go. Sophie wants to build something her daughters will be proud of, and right now, every voice in her feed is saying the same thing. In an AI saturated market, the personal brand is the only real moat left. The people with audiences win. The people without one disappear. She knows this. She's known it for a while, but client work. So yeah. So I think the only thing I'd add in here is that. This is a new urgency for her. And, oh, where's that gone? Typed it onto the wrong computer. Bear with, copying and pasting over here. Yeah, the only thing I'd add in is that this is a new urgency for her. You know, the urgency is already in the story, isn't it? She wants to leave a legacy for her daughters. Her daughters are growing up. She hasn't got the foundations of that in place. And now we've got this new urgency come in, which is AI and this saturate. So we're starting to paint a real picture of like something she wants and the reason why this is something that she needs that's going to solve that problem for what she wants. The reason why I'm editing this rather than adding it in later is just because like it's just a structural ad that we might as well add in as an edit rather than oh, by the way, change later. Okay, so updated structure. Sophie wants to build something her daughters will be proud of. She knows visibility and a personal brand are the path. And right now there's a new urgency. Every voice in her world is saying personal brand is the only real moat against AI saturated marketplace. The window to build one is closing, but she's stuck. Client work eats her week. The content she does post dies after a day, and build a legacy keeps slipping down the list. She's working hard on the wrong kind of content. One-off posts don't compound, and time is the resource she can't get back. So you see how we're emotionally connecting to what is going on for her and how that is. And then we've got the bridge and we've got the solution and the call to action. Stage 1 done, ready for stage 2. That is the hard work. Ladies and gentlemen, the hard work is done. We just type go and it's now going to give us the substance. Now, the stage after substance is going to be style. And this is where we need a voice prompt. Now, a voice prompt is where you get AI to analyze your voice and create you a writing style that works to sound just like it was written by you. I'm going to use mine. If you don't have one that you ready to use, I have a video that teaches you about this. I will link it in on a card, top right hand corner, and it is called How to Get Claude to Write Like You or something like that. And for those of you who are inside the strategy lab, let me just come back for a second. Inside the strategy lab, you will find it inside the classroom. There is a downloadable with a prompt to analyze your voice and turn it into a voice style guide, so that once you've got substance, you can then style it with voice. I'll also show you where that is as well, so that if you're in there, we're kind of a bit under construction in the school community right now. I'm doing some cool things to move stuff around, make it all a little bit easier. And I'm just going to show you real quick. 1 second. Let's jump in and have a look. So here is the school community. What I'm doing is separating everything out. I've started doing it and haven't finished, so apologies. It's a bit of a construction site at the moment. But if you just go inside this one has everything all in one place. And I just had this realization that there's going to be millions of them soon, so I need to start segmenting them out a bit. But it is, bear with me. Where is it? Podcast episode on brand images, funnel, onboarding, Instagram, PDF. Here we go. Use Claude to create your brand voice. I'm going to grab the link directly to where it is in the classroom, so you can grab that. And there is a downloadable that goes with it, which is here, a brand voice prompt that you can download, and it is amazing. Like, it is so good. It basically analyzes your voice and your rhythm and all of it, and gives you this real guide to get AI talking just like you do. So yeah, I'll drop that in the chat for those of you that are here with me on the live. Apologies for the mirrored situation. But yeah, that is in there. Okay, so coming back into Claude, we now have the substance for the 5 emails. We've got email 1, the legacy problem, why content isn't working, what a live show actually does, and the system. And they're quite small, they're quite short, but that's quite good. What we probably do with this kind of campaign is also make a sales page that's got loads of information on it and all the things. And then have the apply button on the sales page. So if we were going to do that, we'd just slightly change the call to action, which is to go and read more and go and learn more about the program. And then on that page, we'd have a button that takes people to a call to action. You either have long emails with lots of information in about everything that people need to know to give them all the context, or you have short emails that lead into a page that gives them the context. And yeah, I hear that the short emails versus long page is better than the long emails versus no page. But there we go. So email 1, the legacy problem. What do you want your kids to remember you for? You started your business for a reason. That goes beyond money. You wanted to build something. You want your kids to grow up watching you do work that matters on your terms. You want to leave them proof that they can build something too. But right now, most of your week goes on client work. The build something bigger stuff keeps slipping. You know you need visibility. You know personal brand is no longer optional, especially. So what I would say about this is that, like, we've got the positioning right, and all of that, but I would say two things. 1, and I really don't like the way, so 1, don't accidentally become a manipulative marketer that uses the kids' legacy story to make people feel guilty. That's just context so that you understand what they want. Number 2 is paint the picture without being so direct with you statements. I think another thing that we're missing as well is the structure of the email campaign, and that I probably picked too large a thing for us to create. What we probably should have done is just create 1 promo post, and I could actually change that and go back and see what different result that we get. But I think if I do that, it's going to make everything a bit complicated. But this is what I would do at this point, actually, is say, yeah, let's go back and do that. 1 second. Let's go. Go instead of so when we were at the substance bit here where we got the structure bit, let's say perfect. We now need the structure for the email campaign. And then each individual email. Then we can do substance of each email. And I would say this is a great example of like, here's an email that is just a little bit lacking. It's it's really calling out the problem without there really being kind of, it's not very well done. And then also it's just a bit on the nose, basically. And that it's not very long. This week, I'm going to walk you through how I think about this. And at the end, I'm going to show you something I've built that solves it. If you already know you want in the application form is here. Like, it's just, this is an example of something that's writing without any structure. So it's got structure on what the problem is, but it doesn't have a structure on what the email should be. So then we basically need to create that. So we go through and create the structure of the emails and then get it to write each individual email. So email 1, name the new agency. And then email 2, email 3, email 4, and email 5, what's going to happen on each of those, and then the structure within each email. It's given us some things to push back on. The structure is the hook, the story, insight, the bridge, the call to action. And we want to have, okay, so let's go with this structure. We want to say 5-day campaign. I'm not looking into it too deeply because of time, but let's just say that we've looked at that and we're happy with it. Email structure. We want to, the hook, the story, the bridge, the call to action, and the PS could just get a little bit shortened by accident. So the hook, that's great. The story or insight, the meat, so whatever that day's job is, bridge to program. So instead of light or heavy, depending on the day, always assume they have no context of what this program is. And the reason why that is like important is because even if you're sending stuff to warm people that know you and are on your email list and they're reading your emails, you don't want to assume that they know what this program is, unless you're going to do a targeted campaign where you're targeting people that have opened and clicked and you know that they've seen stuff. Otherwise, you're going to alienate people that are like, that sounds interesting, but I have no idea what she's talking about. So we want to always have, this is something that is, people do a lot, is that they write stuff assuming that people have context, always assume people have no context. Call to action, apply via the form, and then sign off. Yours rebelliously, Cordelia. And then PS, optional, use strategically, use for the days when the main email is story led and you need a direct ask reinforced. Okay, fine. So we've got that email structure. And let's just see, because we've made it pause and think about structure. Let's see if the output is now better in terms of the substance. Yeah, this is much better. I can tell already just by glancing at it. Okay, email 1, the wake up. Subject, the window is closing. Everyone is saying the same thing right now. Personal brand is the only real moat against AI. If you're an expert running a business, you've heard it from every direction this year. AI is flattening the marketplace. The work you do can be replicated by a tool. The thing that can't be replicated is you, your voice, your point of view, the fact that people know who you are. That's why every business coach, marketer, and strategist is shouting about personal brand right now. It's the moat. But here's what nobody is saying out loud: the window to build one is narrowing. The people building visibility now are the ones who'll be impossible to compete with in 2 years. Everyone else will be fighting for scraps in a market where AI has commoditized their expertise. If you're an expert who knows you need to be visible and you've been telling yourself you'll get to it when client work calms down, this is the email that says client work isn't going to calm down. The moat gets harder to dig the longer you wait. I run a program called Live Pod with You. It's a 6-week thing where I help experts launch a live show with a system behind it that handles the heavy lifting. You pick a topic, turn up once a week, and the system delivers your topic research, promo, speaker notes, captions, and repurposing. It's how you build the moat without burning out. If you want to know more, reply here. Now, that's brilliant. I actually think this is really good. We've really connected to the emotion here without being too on the nose, without being manipulative. We're just calling it what it is. We're just speaking about the situation as it stands, but in a way that is emotionally connecting. Let me know if you're watching this. Do you connect to that? Like, do you feel like, oh my God, that rings true for me? Because I felt it when I read it, and I can see that people would probably feel that connection too. So the thing that's a bit thin is the bridge and the call to action. And this is where we then push back, and get it to add in more details. But that's going to be good and easy to do because the structure is good. The structure's there, and now we just need to tweak the substance. And so if you go ahead and do that, you're going to find it much easier to get a really, really good output. Now, the next thing then, we're going to pretend all those emails are fine, and we're just going to have a look at email 1 for this. And then let's add in, I've got my voice prompt here that I created with the video that I just told you about a minute ago. And I'm going to go now style, and I'm just pasting my voice prompt here. And my voice prompt, by the way, includes some, I like to be a bit funny. I think I'm funny sometimes, hopefully, often a bit cringe, and also speak like a human. You want AI to speak like a human, but you need to tell it how to speak like you can't just say speak like a human and be like, okay, human mode activated. You need to teach it what that is, what that means. And so that is included in this prompt as well. And you have all of that in the playbook for create your voice profile. So let's have a look at it with the style now. Email 1, the wake up. The window is closing. Everyone is saying the same thing right now. Personal brand is the only real moat against AI. You've heard it from every direction this year. Every business coach, every marketer, every LinkedIn thought leader with a ring light. Personal brand is the moat. AI is flattening the marketplace. The work you do can be replicated by a tool, and you can't. And they're right. They're actually right. That sounds like me. That's like repetitive, using the word actually, like really trying to reinforce what I'm saying by saying it again. Here's what nobody's saying out loud, though. The window to build one is narrowing. The experts who started 2 years ago are already the obvious choice in their field. The ones who start this year will be. And by the way, this is subtle, isn't it? The difference is subtle. Like, it hasn't been. It's not too far off my voice in the first one. I would say it's very, very similar. And it does feel like me. 6 weeks, I help experts launch a lot. Yeah, it's great. So, I could add in a little bit more humor, but I don't think it's relevant for this. It's supposed to be a serious post, so that's probably why it hasn't done that. I'm kind of happy with that. The only thing that I would do, as I've said, at substance stage, I would go back and forth on this bridge and call to action, and just basically it's kind of, where's the that's the point. Where's the solution? Bridge, call to action. That's interesting. Has it missed that off? That's probably why it's thin, isn't it? Have I missed it off in my prompt? Let's check here. Let's come up to structure. Yeah. Oh, interesting. It's missed it off. I didn't notice that at first. You've missed off solution in your structure. Yeah, I was thinking that was a bit thin there. There's, this fear that AI has taken over our jobs. Honey, it's not. Don't worry. You still need to know. Have I missed it? I'm now looking like, was this me? Did I miss it off? No, it was there. It was there. So yeah, it says here, incognito. Oh no, it says at the bottom normally like AI makes mistakes. Please check it. Yeah, that was a big mistake, wasn't it? Yeah, perfect. Poor Abdul. He's gonna have an edit job here, isn't he? Let's see what it's like now. I mean, it was good, but it was definitely missing some substance on the program. Okay, so Live Pod with You is a 6-week program where I help you launch a live show with a system behind it that handles the heavy lifting. You pick a topic, turn up once a week, and the system produces topic research, promo materials, speaker notes, live. I mean, it had this before. I'm confused. Something's gone awry here. We definitely read that before. Yeah. But it just missed it off in the... I think it was when we got it to create the structure for the campaign, and then when it came back and did the structure for the email, it missed it off. Okay, well, that's fine. So let's now go stay with email 1. Right, so this one was and do style. And then I'm going to put my voice prompt below. And then it's going to style that one. Every expert in your industry is being told the same thing right now. Personal brand is the only real protection against an AI-saturated market. And honestly, they're right. The marketplace is getting noisier by the month. AI is making it cheaper, faster, frankly, easier to deliver what you deliver. The one thing that can't be cloned, automated, or undercut is you. Your voice, your face, your perspective, your name above the door. That's the moat. That's it. So most experts heard this 6 months ago. And what did they do? They posted more LinkedIn updates, more one-off videos, more content, more. And it isn't working. I think a lot of people quietly know it isn't working, but don't want to say it out loud. One-off content is a leaky bucket. Your post gets a handful of likes. It dies a quiet death. You start again on Monday. Nothing compounds. Nothing builds. You sprinting off a treadmill someone forgot to turn off. The window to build a personal brand that actually protects you, the kind with weight, the kind people remember, is narrowing. And the way most experts are going about it is not going to get them there. It just isn't. There's another way to do this. One where one decision a week turns into a compounding asset instead of another job on the list. Running a live show is the single highest leverage piece of content an expert can build right now. And I'll happily die on that hill. Oh, this is so me. I love this. Live Pod with You is my 6-week program where I help you launch a live show with a full system sitting behind it doing the heavy lifting. You pick a topic, you turn up once a week, the system produces the topic research, the promo, the speaker notes, the live stream copy, and repurposed content for your YouTube and Reels. You walk away with the show, the system, and the audience. If you want to know more, apply here and we'll jump on a free live show call to talk it through. Perfect. That'll do. There we go. Happy days. Do keep an eye out. My anti-AI live pod with you campaign will be hitting a screen near you soon. I will use this. I actually genuinely will. I meant what I said at the beginning. I don't just want to create something that I'm never going to use or something that's actually useless. I'll use it. And, I really hope that this system helps you to create better copy. Just remember, chunk everything down. Keep it simple like this. We go structure, substance, then style, and then you can think about packaging afterwards, and just try and create structure wherever you can, so that if you realize you're getting like a bit of a output, you probably haven't got the structure right. There might be something missing in the structure, and that's where you need to begin. Everybody is using AI, just getting it to create content for them without thinking about, oh, what's the structure of the content first? And that's really hard. It's really hard to do. Like, if you don't know what the structure should be, then how do you know? Like, you can't know something you don't know. Like, this is why being a marketer and going to like marketing school and learning marketing does help. And this is why, just going to AI without understanding any of these things is difficult. And that's why you're on this learning journey. You're learning all this stuff, and honestly, if you start implementing that structure, it will make a huge impact. As I said, of course, the whole output and structure and prompt and everything, I'll put it all together in a playbook for you so that you can use it and implement it. And by the way, once you've done that, ask Claude to turn that system into a skill for you. And then every time you're writing copy, you can just put a forward dash and search for the skill that there is that you've got saved in your skills, and get it to use that skill when writing copy. So you don't have to go through the program of the process of programming it on how to write copy every single time. This is one of the great things about Claude. Let me show you that real quick, because I think that is tip of the century. Okay, great. Now we have a good email. I want to pause here and ask you to turn this copywriting process into a skill so I can use it to create promo copy for everything in this method, in this system, in this. Okay, great. Now we have a good email. I want to pause here and ask you to turn this copywriting process into a skill so I can use it to create promo copy for everything in this method moving forwards. It'll understand my weird grammar. Now, what it's going to do is it's going to start building this skill, and it'll take everything that you've done in the conversation, essentially turn it into a prompt that then lives on your computer, so that when you then press this forward dash, you've got all these skills. So I've got various skills I've created for loads of things. They're basically just a prompt that gets put into the workflow that you're in when you call it. But there we go. So I hope that helps. Oh, wrong button. Let me know what your thoughts are. Drop any questions you've had in the comments. Also, I am not here posing myself as an AI expert of all things. I am self-taught. I am non-techie. I used to be a nurse. I do not know how to code without vibe coding things. I am a learn, do, teach kind of person. I learn things, I get results, and then I teach them. And so, if you have some tips, things that have worked really well for you, please drop them in the comments. Or if you're in the school community, share the love. We're going to be launching something soon that gets everyone together to just geek out on stuff. Really excited for that. Not going to say any more information on that coming soon. But yeah, please do share things that are working for you. Any tips that you've had on creating great copy. We would love to hear them in the comments, in the school community, wherever you're watching this video. Drop a comment. Let me know what your questions are, what your tips are, what your thoughts are. It would be really great to continue this conversation. However, that's all from me. And let me know how you found this. If you've got any questions. Otherwise, I will see you on another video. We'll be here for, me, myself and I will be here for the Marketing Strategy Show next week, 11 a.m. UK time, to bring you another system, method, strategy, process on doing something with AI to create something cool. Lots of love. Speak soon. Bye.